Welcome to the Scoring Tries podcast with me, Kai Fagan.
Me, Aston.
And you know what? Today we've got birthday boy. I'd also say, like, I don't want to introduce you as a rugby player. I'll introduce you as a TV personality as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, mate. Don't worry, we've seen that. But yeah, we've got Genge. So yeah, thank you for coming on.
Alright, bro.
Yeah, and happy birthday. So how are you feeling?
You alright? Tired? Do I have to bring this a bit closer?
Mate, you can have it wherever you want
I
it.
don't know, it feels weird.
You should be the expert.
Yeah. I'm tired, bro. I've obviously just come off the pitch, so a bit cooked really. But it's been a good 3 days in camp. Fallow weeks are weird because obviously you ain't got a game at the end of it. Everyone's going home now and then coming back on Sunday, so it's a bit of a weird one, really.
Now, literally, we can see the grass on the side of his face.
You can smell me as well.
Yeah, but it's actually really interesting. Like, so today we're at Twickenham and we watched the boys train. And is that training session what we've just seen, like exactly what a typical one would be?
Not as physical, to be honest, because we haven't got a game. Probably trying to look after bodies as well, because obviously next week you've got 2 days, which will be tough, and then you'll have not a day off, but recovery day. Then Thursday you'll do a fast session, team run Friday, then play Saturday. So like, in the Six Nations is a bit different to all the other campaigns because you've come in from the domestic season, which is long, obviously, and attritional, and then you come straight into English clubs don't have the benefit of being able to like rest players. Yeah. So like you play for your club. I've been injured, but boys been playing for a club, boom, straight into the Six Nations. So you got to look after bodies a little bit. So that session there was probably tapered physically, like we weren't smashing the guts out of each other, but it was tough. Yeah.
It looks like I imagine it'll be really hard for you because you went straight from your domestic season to a World Cup. Back to the season, to the Six Nations.
Bro, World Cup years are crazy.
How do you find
World Cup years are crazy? Yeah, World Cup years are crazy. I've been lucky enough to do 2 of them now. 2019 was a bit different for me because I didn't play, but in that 23 season, I reckon I must have done probably 40 games in the year. Do you know what I mean? Because I didn't miss a game for club. Played Europe, got all the way to the quarters, I think, or the last 16 of Europe. Then you play all your club games, and I come back early for the first game of the season, stuff like that. So it was hard on the body, but like, God, we got to a semi-final, man. Almost got to a final. So it would have been. It's always worth it. Yeah, whatever you put in, you usually get out. Do you know what I mean? If you're working hard, you usually get the rewards. And obviously, we missed it by the skin of our teeth, but. Another 4 years now.
I know, mate.
I struggled to play 10 games in a season,
bruv.
Mate, I feel like I've given a lot to the club.
Mate, I play one game and I'm done. In fact, halfway through that game, I'm thinking, nah, get me off this pitch.
You feel like that, though, innit? You feel like that when the thing is, people say like, oh, players need rest, but on the flip side of that, if you rest, when you come back and play, you're more fucked than you were if you would have just carried on. Yeah, so when the clubs and the people are saying, oh, you need a break, you've played X amount of games in a row, I'm like, if you give me a break, I'm going to stiffen up, I'm going to go away, my body's not going to be used to getting the bangs and knocks, I'm going to come back and I'm going to be worse off than if you just roll me out, and then give me a longer rest at the end of it. So it's, you're fucked either way.
Yeah, mate, it's done, innit? Done, absolutely done. But yeah, you know what, I want to touch on something else that you've been doing, so not just with rugby, and obviously you've done a Netflix documentary recently, and you had like quite a big part in it, didn't you? And one thing that I'd say, well, in fact, how was that? How was it filming it? Like the cameras being in the changing rooms?
It was awkward, to be honest. I'm not much like this. Even this one staring down the barrel is a bit fucking making me a bit twitchy. Yeah, I feel like I'm being watched.
It's because we are watching.
Yeah, we are actually being watched. What is it? It was alright. It took a bit of getting used to like having people there and pretending they're not there. Do you know what I mean? That was ultimately what I had to get used to. And I'm not a very like out there bloke in terms of with my friends and that. I'm an open book and. People think I'm quite rude because I'm abrupt and I'm a straight shooter, but when I got cameras and that around, first off, I felt like I didn't want to let the world know what was going on. So it was a bit of a struggle. I had a bit of back and forth with them. I was always messaging them saying, can you cut this out, can you cut this out, can you cut this out? My friends were reluctant to be in it. I had to sweet talk a few of them to even come round when the cameras were there for a good reason as well.
What sort of things were you getting cut out then?
Just like, I don't know, people just didn't want to be on camera. Do you know what I mean? But they'd be coming around my house and they'd be like, right, but cameras are there, I want to go. Do you know what I mean? So it was a bit awkward. And then like probably my missus didn't really want to be on the camera. I didn't really necessarily want my kids on the camera. I only just started sort of sharing pictures on social media of them. So I don't know. It's seen. I can't remember who said it, but I seen something online yesterday, and someone said I'm torn between like giving everyone my insight into my private life, but at the same time trying to keep my shit as well. So it's tough, isn't it?
Did you get a saying on whether you featured in the documentary or were?
Nah, they asked us. Yeah, they asked us. I think they asked 4 people from the England camp, like Freddie Stewart.
Yeah.
They're glued to him at the moment, and Fred's a bit different to me. Do you know what I mean? He ain't got many skeletons. He don't want to unearth, so he's like, yeah, come on, let's do whatever. He's going to the Everton game with his missus and all that, and
Oh wait, he's got a missus
he's
now.
only been with her 3 months,
But
man.
you-
He
last
went,
time
he went to the Everton game with her first day after being with her, and let them all film him and that. He's fucked it.
Did he fancy taking her to Norwich?
Well, no,
You know what I mean?
Norwich on a Wednesday at
He had an
Stoke.
Everton scarf on. He had an Everton scarf on.
Freddie, mate.
He had an Everton scarf on.
Do you know what he said?
Finished.
Mate, so he must have only just got with her because at Christmas he wasn't with her, and he took her to the Leicester Christmas party, didn't he?
He's a clown,
Before
mate.
it. But
He's a
what
clown.
a guy, Freddie Stewart.
Nah.
But mate,
He's not a guy.
What's
you
that?
wouldn't be doing that, man, would you? So mate, I also want to know, do you get paid cash for doing that?
Nah, we didn't. We got peanuts actually.
Really?
Well, sorry, that's probably not the best way to put it. We didn't get a lot of money at all. In probably retrospect, we probably should have done a bit of a better negotiating tactic on our part. But we're more happy in terms of rugby as a game to just get the publicity. As far as I'm aware, actually, we didn't get paid for it.
Yeah.
And I don't think the deal was lucrative in terms of monetizing the game. It was more so to get the game out there and show personalities. You know, football and all that.
Yeah,
and like, any other sport is accessible,
Yeah.
and people have followed like crazy. Whereas footballers, I think you looked across their socials.
They're brands over themselves. Every single footballer in
Yeah,
a team.
do you know what I
they're a
mean?
business
Bro, I
for
don't
brand
watch
for sure.
football. I don't watch football, and I could tell you what a lot of footballers are doing and what they get up to in their spare time. So just from socials, and like rugby wasn't branded like that. So I think we seen it, the English players at least, as a way of sort of opening the game up and showing a few more personalities as opposed to sort of keeping it. It's quite old school, isn't it?
Yeah,
do you know what
no,
I mean?
it is. But do you know what I liked about it the most though? Is the fact that it's showing like real personalities, like you, Finn Russell as well. And like when I look back where I'm from Manchester, Council Estate of Manchester. You're from Bristol. Do you know what I mean? Very similar upbringing, but I had loads of boys that played rugby from the same upbringing, but the sport doesn't necessarily represent that. But now this Netflix documentary's come out. Sees like people like you've had mad success in it, but it's not always been like an easy pathway to it. So like I respect that, and I feel like hopefully it'll inspire just like the average person from the United Kingdom, innit?
Was it more rugby league up in Manchester?
Nah.
It wasn't. It was Union
Yeah,
more
so
is
where
it?
I'm from, I'm actually from Sale. So
Oh, right.
there's a lot of like
class.
like clubs around there. Certain areas when you start going to like St Helens and stuff in Yorkshire,
league, yeah.
that's all league.
Yeah. Sick.
So you said you don't really watch football, but
Yeah.
something that we noticed on there was the Jamaica football shirt.
Yeah.
Are you Jamaican?
Well, nah, Bobby Reed's, who's played at Bristol City, plays for Jamaica. He's at Fulham now, I think. And I know.
Cordova Reed, yeah.
loosely, yeah. So yeah, he called over Reed. So there you go, power gone. Probably looks a bit moodier now, doesn't it?
I know.
Bobby plays for Jamaica, so I just thought I'd buy it, represent. Do you know what I mean?
Nah, well,
Fair enough.
yeah, because we do a bit for Jamaica Rugby.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, so like as soon as that went in my Netflix documentary, they were flying it in saying, "Oh, let's try and get him a
Yeah,
Jamaica
get a
Rugby
show
shirt."
over. That'd be sick. Now we're my family. We don't really know where we're from, to be honest. My granddad's dad came over to England in the war. Not to Burdock, then left. So we've done all the ancestry tests and that, and it comes back like 20% West African and Benin and Togo, and then we trace family back to America and farmers called the Nixes and stuff like that. So it's interesting.
Well, it's
but
farmers, mate. You've got the farmer.
yeah,
accent, you're from
yeah,
Bristol,
exactly.
So it kind of works,
like,
innit?
like for
Yeah.
like, so deep south over in America and deep south in Bristol.
Well, mate, we'll take you in Jamaica.
that'd be sick.
If you ever want to do a bit for Jamaica Rugby, you know?
Two of the star
That'd be
players, right?
sick.
yeah, that's it.
So we'll move on to Leicester Tigers, and just how was it at Leicester? Obviously, being a captain, winning the Prem.
Yeah,
Let's
it
take
was
us through
mad. I went there as a kid, to be honest. I was literally, I think, turning 21. It was my birthday today, and I went there. It must have been about 8 years ago now. I went there 21. I lived away from home since I was 16. I went to college at Hartbury over in Gloucester, so I was used to being away from home. I was getting into a bit of trouble in Bristol, and I thought, you know what, best thing for me to do, leave it all behind. As hard as it was as a youngster, leaving all my mates behind and everything that I knew, it was probably the best thing for me to do. And yeah, I got sculpted into a man over the years. Probably not by my own choice at times. It was an old school club, Leicester at the time. A lot of big figureheads of the game. So look, I loved it. I fucking loved it. It was sick to be a part of something that's got so much history. Like Leicester Tigers, for me, were the Man United of rugby. They got all those trophies, all that rich history at the club, and I was lucky enough to be a part of it and play with some of the best players to ever play the game.
So how do you go from like that tough upbringing then to knowing that you're going to become a professional rugby player? Was it that move that...
Bro, I got paid $5,000 in my first professional contract, do you know what I mean? And I had to get a 40-minute, hour and 40, I had to get a long bus from Knoll to go to training every single day. And I had gym at 6:30, supposed to start at 6:30. I couldn't get early enough bus to get to training, do you know what I mean? Yeah. So you're on £5,000, which I think worked out at about £500 a month or something, or £600 a month. And they wanted you to buy all your own food, get driving lessons, pay for your insurance, run a car, do you know what I mean? It's impossible. So if you think like, I went from that to them going up to Leicester and they looked after me so well, I was just thriving. I was put in an environment where they were like, we're going to do everything for you. Gave me a house, like somewhere to live. I was like paying peanuts for rent. I had food at the club every day. Gave me a decent contract at that age, you know what I mean, at 21. And my rugby just went like that. Whereas when I was in Bristol and I felt like the world was against me, I felt like no one was helping me out, and probably a bit of my own attitude as well, because I've always had the attitude of the world's against me. It's probably helped me along the way as well, but I just didn't feel myself getting better. So when I went to Leicester and they started looking after me and treating me like part of the family, fucking hell, I gave it all for them, and yeah, I really enjoyed it.
So how quick was that from like going to Leicester to becoming captain then?
Cool. I went to Leicester in 2016 in February, I think it was, and I played for England in May. Do you know what I mean? I was playing for Plymouth in the champ. They went into liquidation the year that I was in 2016. I went from Plymouth liquidation to playing for England in 4 months. So
that's actually mental.
Well, that's what the environment does to people though. Like you're that young and I just wasn't enjoying myself, and then I went into an environment where I was thriving and people were looking after me and actually wanted to help me, and it just skyrocketed. And then 6 years later I was captain.
So what do you think changed then? Okay, apart from that, to the start of your career at Leicester to you becoming captain, like what do you have to do? Was it just you leading by example?
No, we weren't.
Like a key figure.
You had to earn your stripes. You had to earn your stripes, definitely. You couldn't come into that team and start dictating. And I didn't want to either. I didn't want to do that. I went in and I thought first thing I'll do is get stuck in training. Ended up getting into a few scuffles with a few of the boys who are good mates of mine now. Got filled in a few times, and you learn the hard way. But at the same time, those boys then respect you because you've mucked in. You're contributing every single day.
And we know that you're harder than them.
And every single day you go into the well, and when they see you like giving for the club, I think they then give back to you. So it's a club that really looks after you if you like empty yourself into the club. Yeah, it's a sick place to be. And then slowly over time, I guess you just earn the respect of the senior players. Obviously there's the sort of changing the torches, like the senior players start to retire. So Tom Young's that year, God bless Tiff, he lost his wife and he wanted to take a step back from the game. And obviously he was the captain at the time, and then it had to be sort of a change in the hands. So Steve at the time come in, and I was close with Younger, but he was taking a step back, and he was like, "Look, I'd love you to captain the team." So it was crazy for me.
That's a mad honour, because like you said, you saw them as like the Man United of rugby.
And we went from like, I went there, we finished third, lost in the semi, got to a European semi-final as well against Racing, lost that. Year after we finished fourth, year after we finished fifth, sixth, then 11th, and then I think it was, we were 10th when Steve come in that year 6, and then we ended up finishing 5th, missing out on playoffs by the skin of our teeth. Year after, we won the Prem. So it was like, I went from being like there, as I come to club, I wrecked everything, ruined it, brought us all the way down to 10th, and then boom, we won the league. So it was a mad journey, yeah.
Would you say that's like one of like your proudest moments?
Oh, it is, yeah. Easily in rugby, hands down.
Yeah, so that sounds like it was an amazing journey for you. So how did you get to the point, and maybe what was the deciding factors in deciding
to go back home?
To go back home.
It was hard.
Because it is home.
Yeah, exactly. I've just said it. It's what it says on the tin. Like I wanted to go home. I had my nan, God rest her soul, was ill at the time. I hadn't seen her for years. I wanted my kids to grow up in Bristol, although he was born in Leicester, my first one. My mum, I just wanted to be around my mum a bit more, and like I wanted the kids to be looked after well. My missus, God bless her, was out in the sticks in Leicester, in a nice house to be fair, but like so far away from everything. Like I think it was killing her, and she wouldn't really say it bothered her, but I knew it did deep down. So just for the sake of the family, really. And like sometimes, although rugby is, I tend to say, not number one, family's number one, really, innit? Do you know what I mean? You got to keep work a priority. Obviously, it's what put food on the table, but you have got to look after the family. If my family ain't happy, I don't think I could perform at work. So she made big sacrifice being up there, especially during that COVID block, on her own out in the sticks with a kid. And then I thought, right, cool, she's from Wales, we'll go back to Bristol, it's closer for her, my whole family are there, everything I know is in Bristol, and we're a lot happier away from rugby now. So
it's like
good.
a return, because obviously
you started there. It's weird, isn't it? It's weird. It's a circle of life. It's how it works. Like I started there as a young kid, thought it was the worst place in the world, went away, earned my stripes, and then come back a man.
Do you reckon you'd retire there?
At Bristol, I don't think I'll go to another English club.
Go get that money, mate.
Yeah, Elon on the phone.
You know what I mean? I don't think I'll go to another English club, no.
What club would you go to? You're going to get an exclusive here?
Not one in England.
Not one in England. Is it in Europe?
A lot of clubs are in Europe.
France, maybe.
Fair play.
Who knows?
Okay, so
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? We'll find out. But big one. We want big contracts here anyway. Look at me smiling. He's like, yeah. Yeah, so Aston tried to cut us off there, but yeah, it's not happening. We're keeping you for a little bit longer.
I am actually the only one here to shower today, so I need to get out of this room.
No, mate, I promise you I showered. I just didn't use deodorant on both armpits. It was very, very early.
All right, so with Bristol, what is it like being back there? So obviously, you said you've done it for the family and stuff, but mate, it's not always easy.
Nah, yeah,
going back somewhere.
It's tough because obviously, like, being honest, like cost of living and stuff is tough at the moment, isn't it? So like some of my friends, I see them more and like see the stresses that they're under and that, and you obviously always want to help out and stuff. So I see a lot more people, and I'm a lot more accessible to all the people that would have had to have drove 3 hours to come and spend time with me. So it's mint having everyone around and being able to go for food with my mates and that, but at the same time you hear about a lot more of the stuff outside of rugby that's going on. So but I'm a little bit further away than from Knoll than what I used to be. So it's, they still get in the motor to come and moan to me.
Do you reckon like it could be if you were there a bit younger, it could have been a bit of a distraction then?
Oh, it was too easy for me to go out in town. It was too easy for me to be over my mates till 2-3 o'clock in the morning and then have training at 6:30, literally. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm going there, I'm fucking knackered, I haven't eaten, got the bus, like I didn't drive, like it was just a vicious circle. And then Jack Lamb, a Samoan player, took me in rent free, just made me buy a little meat shop every week out of my £500, and he looked after me like a brother, like a son, I guess.
Obviously to get the protein.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, he was incredible, and he sort of showed me the light as to how you should treat younger players. And unfortunately, I left that season, went on loan to Leicester, and then signed a full contract after. But he was incredible, and I probably wouldn't have been able to carry on if it wasn't for him. If I'm being honest.
What a guy. Well, I feel like you always have those people in your life that make a positive difference on you. But I guess like now you're a senior player, you'll do the same to younger players.
I try, yeah. That's why Freddie Stewart's in the bad books, mate. Don't show no respect. No respect. I shaped him, I crafted him, and he's cut me loose now.
Do you reckon you could do a decent job at fullback then?
I'm better fullback than him. I run the ball back better than he would.
Yeah, rate that. Okay, rate
I won't be able to catch the eyeballs. I said to him, I was like, Fred, the only reason you're out here is your anatomy. I was like, you're 6'5" and you got long limbs. I was like, that's the only reason you're out here. If you was a little bit shorter, your arms were a little bit shorter, you wouldn't be here. And
That's a long day though.
Imagine mate, trust me, being 6'5" and having long limbs, I couldn't get anywhere near that.
6'5"?
You'd be better than him.
Yeah.
You'd be better than Fred.
I am better than him. And also, mate,
trick pony.
I've got something else to ask you as well. Okay, you can do a 180 keg bench press.
Yeah.
I can't get my words out.
That's only because I've been injured though. Like that's because I've been bench pressing
180 kg is fucking mental.
I got 190 out for a single, but we was doing twos that day. I thought I'd drop that one in there. But I seen that Asafo Mua, the New Zealander, did 195. So he's trumped me. I might have to get back to
try and beat him?
I ain't got time, man. I'm back playing now, so I think they're in pre-season. That's what happens in pre-season. Like you get a few weeks to actually have a crack at gymming and look after your body, and you start playing again. You're fucked. You know what I mean? You can't maintain it. So
I love that. But anyways, okay, that's us. What I've got to say is I hope you have you celebrate your birthday pretty well. A couple of beers and stuff like that. A couple of cans tonight.
I wish. I don't think so.
But yeah, but thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Stay forever.
Thank you very much.
Legends.
It's been a pleasure. Guys, that's been Scoring Tries with Ellis Genge.
Kai Fagan.
And Aston.
Yeah,
Peace.